let's get curious about making stuff. So today's what if question of the day is, what if you had a box that could make anything? What now? Yeah, a box that can make anything. Anything. Pretty cool, right? So to do this, let's imagine just a little bit here at the start. Imagine that there's a box that's on the floor, or maybe it's on the table, or maybe it's floating in the air. It doesn't matter. But there's no markings on the box. Maybe it's all black and mysterious looking, right? But it has a lid on it. And if you lift it up, it can make anything tangible. So anything that you could touch, it could make. What would you have it make? Would you have it make money so you could buy things? Would you have it make a new friend to hang out with? Would you have it make you the tastiest food you have ever eaten? Well, believe it or not, these boxes already exist. Kind of. You see, these boxes are called 3D printers. These printers produce tangible objects. For instance, if you dropped your cup and it shattered, you could just print a new one. If you wanted a new part for your bicycle, well, you could just print it. If your friend came up with a really new cool toy or device, well, she could send you the drawing and you could print it out. You see, all the information that this box needs is digital, so it can move as easily as an email or text message. This works because someone draws up some object like a cup or a new toy on the computer, and then the computer tells the printer how to print the object. That's it. Right now, the printers that most people have can only print plastic. But scientists, machinists, hobbyists, and tinkerers are working every day to make better and better printers that use other materials. Some of these are printing concrete. You could print a new house, right? Some are printing food, so you could print that tastiest meal. Some are printing organs. Well, organs? Well, what if one day you got into a car accident and needed a new lung? Well, right now you'd have to wait on a transplant list, but in the future, the hospital could just print you a new lung in a few hours. So printers are coming a long way from just putting images on paper. Soon they'll print anything you can imagine. Now, there is a little technical corner in the book of What If on 3D printing, a little bit on how 3D printing works. So normal printers work by putting a layer of ink on paper. Instead of just one layer though, 3D printers put many layers down to build up a shape. Look around you and find an object. Now imagine you were to cut it into really, really thin slices. Well, if you were printing that object on a 3D printer, it would print each slice or layer one on top of the next until that object was whole. So they usually use plastic, but as you know now, 3D printers are starting to use all kinds of materials. Be really curious to learn and hear from you on what you would print or create if you had a box that can make anything. And before then, we have a little write-up on an inventor and mechanical engineer by the name of Alex Madinger. So he's a designer, inventor, mechanical engineer, and one of the first people I ever met who had a 3D printer and was doing some really remarkable things with 3D printing. So Alex Madinger has been interested in building things since he was young. In college, he was able to start with he was able to play with 3D printers, and he was hooked. Since then, he's been working on human prosthetics or artificial limbs. Often if you lose a limb, you'll get a generic prosthetic. But look at the people around you. Does everyone have the exact same arms and legs? No, right? So wouldn't it be nice if there could be a variety of prosthetics too? Well, Madinger's methods, like those of other 3D printing inventors, rely on a high level of customization and personal tuning. 3D printing methods allow inventors like Madinger to work more quickly because they can easily print and test their designs. Now, if you have an idea of something cool to make and you've drawn it out on a paper, you might know how it all works, right? But you have a cool idea. Maybe someone has made it. Maybe someone is working on it. You can look online. Either way, instead of going to a big company to spend all the money you have making on that thing, you could just 3D print it and have it for yourself or turn it into a new product or business that you could then take to market. So again, whether you would create money, whether you would create a new friend, whether you'd create food, whether you'd create some sort of cure solution for the world, I'd be really curious to hear what you would do if you had a box that could make anything. As always, thanks for getting curious with us, and stay curious.